and welcome to the January Challenge 2022. Here we are in another year, and we have two fabulous pieces that we're going to work on through this month of January, and we're going to space it out a little bit more this year as well, to give ourselves the chance to really work on the putting together of all the parts. So there's going to be a little bit more space in this month, not for not playing, but to actually work on the pulling together of it and to make it flow through from one section to another. So I'm going to start by introducing our first piece. Our first piece is by the wonderful composer and arranger Janet Bennett, and this is her arrangement of an Irish tune called Carol Ann's Dream. I'm going to play it through in full for you, and then we'll start looking at today's section. So this is the full piece. Beautiful, isn't it? Absolutely lovely. So we will start at the beginning with this piece. We're in the key of G major in terms of how we set up our levers. So as well as our normal levers to end up at neutral, we've also got our F sharps added. Okay. Although I say we're in the key of G major from the point of view of the setup, we're actually in the related minor, the relative minor to that key. So we're in E minor, and that comes across very much in the music with our opening part where we have this E, B, G in the bass. Okay, it's just an E chord, which might be E, G, B, but spaced out. E, B, G. And as we're on the left hand, let's carry on a little bit with it. So that shape, we're going to do a 4 on the bottom, a 2 on the B, and let our thumb come up to a G. It's not our traditional sort of octave and a fifth, what I sometimes call one of those. It's not one of those. It's the stretched out version where our thumb comes up a couple of strings higher to the G. And if you take that shape and then allow it to move down one, in every part of it to move down one, we have, and we go down one again. And if we were to go down one again, we'd end up on a B. And well, my harp runs out on that C, but in the music, it takes up almost an octave and takes us to the B there instead. So really, it's just like walking down E, D, C, B there. And then we come to a just nice straightforward E triad as a roll. Okay, to do that roll, I always like to think of the word tariam. Okay, so it's not a straight chord where every note's played at the same time, but more of a ripple up from the lowest note upwards. Okay, so let's just try that left hand together from the beginning. So I like to think, rather than sort of going, right, it's an E and it's a B and it's a G and sort of peeling yourself into that place, I like to open my hand up, beginning the stretch and being mindful of where my thumb wants to land and allowing the rest just to open up. And I tend to find that if you do that, it becomes less effort and it's much easier to allow all three to kind of land at the same time. So I will count us in. We'll have a go just as far as that rolled chord. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Just going down 1. And then the roll. Okay, can maybe try that a tiny bit slower. But again, I want you to really think about just where the thumb goes. G, F, E, and then it's just going to D, but we're just jumping it up instead. Okay, give that another go. Tiny bit slower. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. And. Opening up. And. And. I'm going to go to the rolled chord. Tidy up. Well done. So that's a little stretch to work on. Okay, let's put the top hand in. Let's have a look at what the top hand's up to. Excuse me. So we're starting with E, F, G. So 3, 2, 1. Third finger on the E, 2 on the F, 1 on the G. And again, rather than thinking of that as E, then F, then G, let's open our hand up in a beautifully relaxed way, being mindful of where the thumb's landing and the other two fingers just falling onto those strings. It plays E, F, G. Going to come off, going to take the whole pattern down 1, so your thumb's now on the black, and want to head downwards, 1, 2, 3. Then move back up 1, and we're going to go back up again. And back down again, down with the pattern, 1, and heading downwards. Then we're going to take that pattern up to G, A, B, the 3 clears in a row. We're heading upwards. Sorry, I'm struggling with a little bit of a tickly throat at the moment. We're going to play the G, we're going to play the A. Then, before we play the thumb, we're going to open out a triad. And it's the same triad as the rolled chord in the left hand. Okay? And I brought that left hand in because actually, you'll see on the page, our little squiggle that's telling us to do a rolled chord is a continuous line squiggle from the lowest note to the top. So it wants to ripple from the base of the left hand all the way up to the top hand. But don't think too hard about playing this, so much as sort of double tariuming. Okay, don't overthink of it. And just know, well, I'm heading for that high B, that's where I'm aiming for. Okay, so right hand is very nice, sort of up, down, and then it's just that bit there at the end, G, A, and then opening up the triad. So having the thumb there ready is brilliant. And And it's particularly good because it helps reinforce, yeah, the B is where we're heading to. That's our melody note. Okay, so before we finish off this section with the notes that come next, let's have a go at just putting those two hands together. So our left hand, if you recall, thumb on the G, opening up, so you've got E, B, G. Okay, right hand is on E, F, G, and the right hand goes up, then goes down, it goes up, then it's down, then 3 clears with a tarium. Left hand is just effectively going down a step at a time, just watching for when it has to reposition, and then into the same tarium chord. Give it a go, we'll do it really nice and steady. So the right hand is coming in on the last beat of the previous bar. It's not really a previous bar, it's what we call an upbeat. So a beat leading into the tune. So here we go. So I will just count to 1 and 2 and 3 and we'll come in. 1 and 2 and 3 and. Take the left hand down, top hand back up, down again. Well done. Now, did you notice a little problem there with my plan with our left hand? So I've been saying with my left hand, get your thumb ready each time and use that as your anchor. But on the last one, we can't do that because the right hand's busy playing that note. So think with your head, I'm aiming for the thumb, and I'll allow my hand to open up in the same way that it did when I was planting my thumb, but I just know that my 2 and 4 have got to land, and I will bring my thumb in as late as possible afterwards to not lose that lovely note. So let's give that another go from the beginning. Okay, so E, F, G, in the right hand, thumb on the G in the left hand, all the way down to an E in the bass. Here's our count in. 1 and 2 and 3 and. A rolled chord, the final note of the chord, which in this case is the top note, that is what we want to land on the beat that we're feeling. So all the other notes actually have to be slightly in an anticipation ahead of the beat. Okay, so I know we're coming in with quavers, but what we want to hear is da da da. Everything else is a bonus. Okay, we'll carry on. So the right hand, having just played the thumb with the B, goes back on and has finger 2 on the A, thumb on the B. We play 2, 1, we're putting 2 and 3 on, 2. We're going to cross over with E and our thumb. So we've jumped over the black F, thumb on E, second finger on D, E, thumb goes back on, and that's the top note of this another rolled chord. So thumb is on E, finger 2's on red C, third finger's a bit of a reach down to the G, so slightly bigger gap between 3 and 2, and that's another tarium. Okay, so we'll just try those newest notes. A, B, A, G, E, D, tarium. Okay, so the count in is going to be 4 and 1 and, just to give you enough feel for it. So 4 and 1 and. Thumb on. So try that one more time. A, B, okay, same count in. Ready? 4 and 1 and. Well done. Underneath that, in the left hand, we just have some straight crotchets. Our left hand has just done a tarium on the E triad, E, G, B. Going to open up 3 and 1 again to the E and the B. There's no G in the middle this time, but it's the same fingering that we've just done, 3 and 1. So we play the E, then the B, and then we're going to open up, thumb goes to the E. It's another one of those stretched out shapes. So the lowest note is C, finger 2 lands on the G, just a fifth higher, and then thumb stretched up to the E. And we play from the lowest note up, but just as crotchets, so C and G and E. Okay, So if we just do that left hand on its own, I'll give a count of 1 and 2 and then we just come in, each one's a crotchet. 3 is on the E, thumb on the B. 1 and 2 and E. Then thumb on the E, big stretch. And. Okay? So fitting that with the top hand, if you remember the top hand's playing A, B, A, G, E, D, Italian. Okay? So the A, B is on its own, but the left hand can be getting ready, hovering, and then on as late as possible for the E and the B. Why as late as possible? Because we want that tarium chord to still be ringing out. So we have A, B, then they're going to land together. And together again. And then the tarium, if I slow it down, it's tarium. So the is landing on the bass, on the beat, and our bass C is landing on the beat. Okay, so we get the lining up of the rolled chord. Again, it's in anticipation, the roll up, so that we land just straightly on the beat. So let's try that again now, a bit more in time. A, B, A, G, E, D, Italian. Okay, straight on that. Left hand ready, E and B. Okay, I'll give you the count of 4 and 1 and. 4 and 1 and. Good. Okay, let's try putting all of that together, okay? And trying not to sort of worry about where we're going next. Lots of patterns. So at the beginning, E, F, G. And I'm doing that 3, 2, 1, coming off, putting my 1, 2, 3 on. So that creates that lift, rather than sort of trying to go 3, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. It doesn't create the phrasing in quite the same way. So 3, 2, 1, 1, 2, 3, creates our phrasing, creates that lift on these crotchet notes. Okay, let's get our hands on ready. Lovely, lots of space at the end there with that. Excellent work. Notice that we're marked up mezzo piano at this point, so just your gentle state of playing, not forcing out any volume, but not disappearing too quietly either. Okay, excellent. Join me on the other video for today for a play along where we'll do that at a few different speeds. And I look forward to teaching you the next part of the phrase tomorrow. Well done.